Hey everyone, I'm glad you could join me. This is Sean Brooks, and I'm coming to you live with my webinar from Miami, Florida. This webinar is the core principles of building a brand. And my first topic of discussion today is, what is your website really telling people? Now, this is a topic that is really, really important. A lot of people have no idea. They just jump out there and they build a website and they don't know what it's saying to their end market. So today, we're going to tackle that discussion, and we're going to give you the tools and the tips to make you successful in your brand management. Well, as I say, this is a live webinar. So if you're there and you're listening to me, you can send me a message. I will be answering all questions live. So if you're out there, let me know. Give me your name, give me your email address, and just a basic question that you may have when it comes to building your brand. And I will answer that question as accurately and effectively as I can. Again, I really appreciate everyone for coming on this webinar. Well, as we're getting ready to get started, I see Silva. How are you doing, Silva? I appreciate you coming on live with me to get this valuable information. I really appreciate it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first topic of discussion, like I said, is, what is your website really telling people? So I want you to really dig down deep. I want you to really sit here and take the information and utilize it. I want you to make it real in your life. This is not just me telling you something. I really want you to take this information and I want you to apply it. So grab your pens, grab your notebooks, grab your recording devices, and get this valuable information. So let me tell you, who is this website for? This webinar was designed to assist entrepreneurs and business people who desire, like myself, the required tools that will take their online brand to the next level. So if that's you, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business, you're an entertainer, you're an artist, or anyone looking to build a website, this is the webinar for you. If it's not you, I would advise you, well, you can stay on. I mean, you can stay on, but this may not be for you. I'll give you one important topic. Powerful branding and design is the missing piece that makes or breaks our business or your business. So jot that down. Powerful branding and design is the missing piece that makes or breaks your business. What are we going to cover in this webinar? Today, we're going to cover my story and how I got into branding. We're going to cover how visual influence and website perception affect your business. I want to shout out to Tanya Foskey, coming live from Pittsburgh, PA. I really appreciate you signing in. We're also going to cover the key questions to know prior to building a successful website and understanding the power of effectiveness of the most important factor of your website, the conversion tools. And I'd like for those who stick with me to the end of this webinar, I'm giving away a free bonus or a free offer. I'll be giving away 1,000 business cards. These business cards will be custom designed by me and printed. They'll be full color, double-sided, gloss coating. It's a $250 value. It's great for any startup business or any business that wants to make the change. One winner will be selected at the end of this webinar. So let's talk about the biggest frustration that website owners face. Based on my years of experience, what I see and what I hear is they don't have the necessary guidance or direction that they need to build a thriving website. They don't recognize that successfully organizing their website can make or break their online business. And ultimately, they don't understand that their brand has to emotionally connect them to their target audience. So what am I saying? There are tools and there are concepts and there are processes that need to be done before you just go out and build a website. And they say, yeah, anybody can build a website, but that's not true. Anyone can't just build a house. So why would you take that adage into building something, a website, that you have no knowledge of? You don't know the internal factors. So that's what we're going to delve in today. We're going to dig in deep into that subject. Okay? So stick with me. Stick with me. What is the real problem? There's a huge misconception about website design and business. People think it's easy and they can do it themselves. I pretty much just said that. I'm ahead of myself. The most effective and recognizable brands, like let's say Nike, they've been developed using strategy, market research, and digital know-how. They've been around for a long time and spent millions and millions of dollars to get to where they are today. And as we see them on TV, everything looks simple. But when they first started, it wasn't simple. And every brand is not simple. There's a process to being a sustainable brand. In this webinar, I want to show you how to create an online presence that emulates your expertise to give you the required tools which will take your online brand to the next level. Now, let's talk a little bit about me. Okay, you see my dog Bella. I'm a dog lover. I love my Bella. She's 5 years old. Unfortunately, she's not here with me because she'll probably be barking and running around making noise. But about me, I have over 15 years of brand identity, web and print design, and photography experience. Over the years, I've worked with many brands, and they're listed there. I won't name them, but I've been doing this for a long time. My ultimate goal is to see your business get better, bigger, louder, and stronger. Kind of sound like a superhero. Well, I want to be that for you. I'm not just a designer. I bring something different to each and every project. Everything I present is centered around growth. Sorry about that. I hit the button too soon. I have over 12 years of web experience and 15 years of branding experience. I've been doing this for a long time. But let me tell you how I got into branding. I always tell this story. It's my funny story about my first branding experience. I can remember when I had one pair of Nike tennis shoes with a hole in the bottom, as you see in the diagram here. Now, I grew up poor in a small town outside of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. And I need to say it correctly, I grew up poor because poor was another demographic. We were so poor, we could only say we were poor. But anyhow, I was walking to the store and I saw this pair of Nikes in the trash can. So I grabbed them and I said, wow, this is amazing. The in-style shoe, how could this happen? I grabbed the Nikes and I noticed that they had a hole in the bottom of the shoe. And my image factor was going to the next level, I thought. I took them home, I washed them off, and I put a piece of wood in the bottom so that when I put the shoe on, I'd have some type of something in it to cover up the hole. Well, back in those days, like I said, we were poor, and we used to wear the 3-stripe tube socks. I don't know if they're wearing those anymore nowadays. But anyway, the socks, because we didn't have a washing machine, I'd have to roll my socks down. Try to imagine this. As the white part of the sock got dirty, I had to roll the sock down up in my shoe. So I'm going to school the next morning and I put the shoes on, I roll the sock down. So there's some excess sock hanging in the bottom of my shoe. And I get to school and man, my swagger is, I feel so good about myself. Why? Brand recognition. The people now see me with a pair of Nikes on. And man, first period, I'm getting high fives and I'm feeling really good about myself. Why? Brand recognition. Nike is an established brand. Well, 4 periods later, 5th period, I'm running down the hallway and a guy says, "Hey, why is your sock hanging out the bottom of your shoe?" And I looked down and there it was. Embarrassment. My brand image was gone. What could I do? Well, I tell that story to get you to understand that that was my first experience with branding. When the sock came out in my story, it reminds me of how many brands have holes in them. So read the story. Think about that. How many brands have holes in them? We think we're perfect as the Nike tennis shoes were, but underneath the foundation wasn't correct. So had I had a pair of Nikes with the proper foundation, my image and my branding experience would have been totally different. So the first topic of discussion that we'll get into is visual influence and website perception. Having a performance-enhancing website design is like having a Lamborghini. I don't know how many of you out there have Lamborghinis. I've never driven a Lamborghini, but a Lamborghini is one of the automobiles that performs well. And over time, you can keep improving the performance. So your online web presence, you should have the capability to improve it as the technology changes. So one of the core principles is you being able to adjust your website and having control over it. 93% of people say that visuals are the key influencer in their purchase decisions. Moreover, people assess the product or service within 90 seconds to determine whether to purchase it. I'll say that again. People assess a product or service within 90 seconds to determine whether to purchase it. That falls into visual influence, website perception. The look of your website makes a huge difference to a client's perception, your business, and ultimately the action they take when they're on your website. What does that mean? When a client comes to your website and you've projected yourself as this high-end entity, nice business card, nice postcard, you drive a nice car, and the client goes to your website and the website is not up to par, what are you going to think? What are they going to think? Are they really going to want to do business with you? And based on that, if you can think about that, do you really want to lose a client based on the way your website looks? We live in a society where people assume what you make by what you show them. It is the perception. It is what has been told to us from time and time again. So perception is key. If you're going to invest in a website for business, you want to make sure it's visually pleasing. You ultimately get more leads, higher sales results when you have a website that's designed to convert. Keyword in that, designed to convert. Okay. Some key questions to know prior to building your website. Now, this is the part where I want you to take some notes. I want you to really jot this down because we'll come back to this. Number one, you should know who is your target market. And a lot of businesses skip this. Your target market, your target customers are those who are most likely to buy from you. Tell people to resist the temptation to be general in hopes that, oh, I'm just going to cover everyone. It doesn't work that way. It's been proven. You have to know who your target market is, who is going to buy your service. So before you build your website, the first thing you want to do is define your target market. Number two, what is the purpose of the website? Do you have any idea? If you can't answer that question clearly, there's a good chance you're squandering your best online asset. And even if you can answer the question, if you're on the mark, you'll wind up with the same result, an underperforming or even counterproductive site. Knowing the purpose of your website helps you lay the foundation of what you need to do to acquire new customers. Number 3, what percent of customers are new versus returning? If you've been in business for even a short while, you know that it's easier and cheaper to sell to existing customers than to go out and find new ones. But the business can't survive on existing customers alone. You have to have new business, new growth in order to grow a business. What problem does your business solve? The key to marketing success is identifying and solving problems. This is the core target of your website. What does your business solve? All right. Number 5, do you have a free offer? Do you have a giveaway? What are you offering? What's going to make a client come to your website other than another person's website that's doing the same thing you do? How often will you be releasing new content? A lot of people I talk to say, oh, I'm going to start a blog, but they're not writers. Where are you going to get the content from? It's important to know. What is your unique selling proposition? And what is that? What makes your business unique? For example, Charles Revson, founder of Revlon, always used this to say he sold hope, not makeup. Some airlines sell friendly service, while others sell time service. Neiman Marcus sells luxury, while Walmart sells bargains. What do you sell? Have you defined it? Do you even know? And number 8, what is the main action that you want visitors to take? Every word on the page, design change, and the way users navigate your site should all funnel prospects to your business goals. Identifying the website's next action for your visitors is the key to this success. Now, I know we got here pretty quickly, but I love this topic, the conversion tools. I've built many websites over the years, and like I said, I've been doing this since 98. That's a long time, and I've evolved, and I help my clients evolve also. But one of the most important factors in this website game is the conversion tools. The marketing funnel. Businesses that take on a structured approach towards conversion optimization are twice as likely to see a large increase in sales. So you need someone to help you put together a marketing funnel, which is your A, B, C, D, E, F steps on acquiring new business. It's like a business plan on the web. You've probably never heard that. A business plan on the web. A business plan on the web is really, really important, because what it helps you do is forecast what the client does, or what the client sees. So a marketing funnel is the number 1 conversion tool in your toolkit. Okay. Stats on website visitors. Shouldn't you know how many people are coming inside of your store or outside of your store or on your store, or clicking on what products, where they're coming from? Web stats. 70% of people that come to your website will never come back. The reason is simple. They're not ready to buy. You need to build trust first. So if you knew where they were coming from, then you would know how to advertise to acquire those customers. So knowing your web stats is really, really, really important. What about valuable free lead magnets, like an ebook or a report? Buy 2, get 1 free, and etc. We see these all over the place. These are things that you see. I laugh at the furniture companies. They always put up going out of business sale. And then they have the big sale. They sell a lot of furniture, and they're still there in a couple of weeks. And you laugh, do it again, and you keep going back. What is that? It's a lead magnet to draw you in. So it's important when you have a website to have a lead magnet. Lead magnets are really, 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 really good. Okay. Opt-in forms. Customer comes to the website, you want to convert them. So offer high converting opt-in forms as an entry to your site. Free content as well as on all of your blog pages. And what this does is gives you ability to acquire an email address, which is almost as valuable as money, so that you can continue marketing to that particular client. Create an email campaign. Now you created the Optin form. Now you have emails. Now you want to create an email campaign. Do you have an email campaign? Why wouldn't you have one? It's important. The purpose of an email campaign is to keep offering value and build trust over time. Go to your email inbox right now and look at some of the top brands. Let's say the airlines. Let's say anything that you subscribe to. They continuously send you emails. The Gap. I'm just throwing names out there. The people that I use. Nike. I buy shoes. You know, they continuously. Staples. What the big brands continuously use email campaigns. Why? Because they're effective. And they keep their content in front of you. So eventually when you're ready to purchase, you can do so. And you'll think about them. Why? Because they put it in your head. Start a blog with a content marketing strategy. What a blog does, it makes you the professional in your industry. If you can blog about a topic of discussion that interests people, then you've become an expert. And this is designed for pulling your prospects towards you instead of pushing them away with selling all the time. Why not give them information? And giving information is good. And the more you do that, your Google rankings will increase. But you have to release the content regularly. Have a call to action. As you can see in the diagram below, there's two call to actions on the page. There's a video call to action and there's a free webinar call to action. Both of those are prominent. You see a picture with a circle on it with the arrow and you go, what's that? You click on it, there goes the video. The video is going to tell the story. It's going to talk about something that I want you to be interested in. And the call to action is very important. It's your first step of your funnel. When we talked about your marketing funnel back then, your A, B, C, D, E, E, F, G, what you want your customer to do. That's your marketing funnel. So make it stand out with contrast color and clear spacing so people can find it easily. That's important. Video. You can't have a website in 2016 or above without video. Why? Video will increase engagement. People don't like to read anymore. They want to skim through, and a video helps them skim through. You want to keep the videos under 3 minutes long and try to use storytelling to keep their attention. Don't record a video and it's just one angle. That's boring. Do something different. Be creative. But video, it's very, very powerful too. Invest in copywriting. Copywriting, a lot of people try to do it themselves, but you have misspellings, you have fragments in sentences, and you try to, a lot of people go on websites and copy content, which is illegal, and that doesn't make you unique, but getting the right copywriting done makes you unique. And your USP, your unique selling proposition headline, should be unique to your offer. What are you offering your customers? So your copywriting should start with that and then tell a story, focusing on the benefits in your sales copy. And as I said before, don't try to write it yourself if you don't know what you're doing. So copywriting, important, very, very important. What about color? I have customers calling me, they say, hey, I want to build a website. I want to use gold. I want to use silver. I want to use purple. I want to use red, and have no understanding of the color palette. Use limited color. Colors, I advise customers no more than 3 colors. And 3 is a lot for me, but 3 will be the max. Why? Because if you use more than 3, you look confusing. The only way you would use more than 3 colors is if your clientele were children. Because in the children's realm, color, the spectrum, is what draws them in. Like the rainbow, the alphabet colors, and all the shows. But if you're a professional business, no more than 3 colors. Keep the focus on your call to action. As you can see in this diagram below, 4 tips on how to live well, purple, download now, purple, it stands out. And use the same color palette on all of your online presence. Don't go using green on one page and purple on one page. Stay consistent. Color is important too. and use the right images. Don't go on the web and grab an image. You can be sued. Spend the money. Go to some of these stock agencies or take the photos yourself or hire a professional photographer to take the right images, because the right images really can make or break your website. Whether legally using it wrong, like I said, you can get sued, or they're not clear, they're not precise, they're just, you're putting up these big JPEG images that hadn't been reduced down, they don't load fast. So using the right images is important, and use images that are relevant to your target market. As you see here, Wachisi Douglas, they're a premier business and entertainment firm. So what do you see? You see a young girl that's an entertainer, and you see a young man that's on his phone about business. So it kind of tells you what their clientele is. You don't see an older woman sitting outside on a rocker or a baby, in a baby seat, because it has no relevance to his target market. And use large images where possible for maximum impact. As you can see here, a faint image in the background, because he's from Atlanta. Use the Atlanta skyline. And the two images in the front, like I said, represent his target market. Use friendly fonts. Fonts is another stickler that I try to talk and advise clients about. Tony, I see you're having issues. I'm sorry there. Let me see here. No, it should be. Just refresh your screen and everything should be okay. But anyway, getting back to the fonts. Use fonts that are easy to read. Use fonts, Google Web Fonts, and use just 2 font families. Don't go using Helvetica, Times New Roman, and Edwardian script, and you're confusing the client. It doesn't look consistent. And use fonts that are readable and cross-browser compatible. That's why Google fonts are very, very important. Okay. Website interactivity. As you can see with the mumbo jumbo here, we have a lot of things going on. Make it easy for your visitors to share your content on social media. Make sure your site is designed to suit all screen sizes. Use a commenting system for your visitors to engage in your content. Make your site mobile friendly. Now, you may not be able to do this, but you're a developer. Whoever you hire, you want to make sure that your site is mobile friendly. Not necessarily mobile as in a mobile app, but mobile friendly, which means that the size constraints reduce depending on the platform that you're using. If you're on an iPhone, the size changes. If you're on an iPhone 1 with the small screen, your website changes. And if you're on the larger phones, the Samsungs, your screen changes to accommodate. Mobile is changing the world. Today, everyone has a smartphone with them, constantly communicating and looking for information. In many countries, the number of smartphones has surpassed the number of personal computers. Can you believe that? Having a mobile-friendly website has become a critical part of having an online presence. Having a mobile-friendly website has become a critical part of having an online presence. Very intricate. In the USA, 94% of people with smartphones search for local information on their phones. Interestingly, 77% of mobile searches occur at home or at work, places where desktop computers are likely to be present. So just think about that. You have to have a mobile presence. This statistic came from thinkwithgoogle.com. It's a good site where you can go get information on topics and percentages of discussion. The summary, what you need to create your online brand. Really, the most important things to have when building an online brand, everything I talked about within the conversion factor, within the imagery, but you must provide valuable content. Valuable content is critical. If it's not valuable, why would someone come to your site and buy? It doesn't make any sense. Create a marketing funnel. If you don't want to know what a marketing funnel is, look it up. Google it. Marketing funnel is very, very important. Like I stated earlier, it's like having a business plan. It's a step-by-step guide on what you want to direct the customer to do. Utilize email capture. and lead magnets, and provide consistent value. Consistent value. Consistent value. It's very, very important. Okay. That was pretty quick. Most of the webinars go about an hour, and we're about 29 minutes in, but I've given you, in a nutshell, the most important factors of creating an online web presence. Now, the webinar topic was, what is your website really telling people? You know what your website is telling people. Because if you don't have some of the things that I talked about in this webinar, your website is telling people that you're not ready for what you're possibly selling. Or your website is preventing you from going to the next level. And all of us want to go to the next level. That's why we built the website in the first place. Now, if you don't want to go to the next level, click off now, because this isn't for you. It's not for you. I would say go shut your website down and and move on. But anyway, now let me stop kidding around. How can I help you? Over 15 years of branding experience, 12 years of web experience, professional photography. I've helped brands, millionaire brands. How can I help you? I can help you enhance your brand and user experience. My passion is to empower new entrepreneurs and businesses with effective resources and customized training. I want to help you. So if your website is struggling and you want a step-by-step assistance, allow me to help. Website plus social media strategy session. It's a website and social media done by you with the help from a pro, which is me. During this session, I will look through your website and identify areas of improvement. I'll review the messaging and the elements which need attention. I'll help you gain clarity on steps to improve your online presence, including social media. I provide you with a set of actions that you can take away and implement right away. Now, I normally charge $2.99 for this service. Because you're on my webinar, today's price is only $97. Do I sound enthused? I hope so. $97. Why would I do it for $97? My ultimate goal is to help you get to the next level. And the only way that you can do that is for us to do a strategy session. What you get from this special offer, as I stated, I'll look through your website and identify all the areas of improvement. I'll review your messaging, all the elements that need attention. I'll help you gain clarity on the steps to improve your online presence, including your social media. I provide you with a set of actions that you can take away and implement right away, today, tomorrow, as soon as we finish with the strategy session. Go to SeanBrooksLLC.com/strategy. And guess what? Anyone who signs up for this offer, I will actually give you 1,000 business cards designed and custom printed by me, Sean Brooks. $250 value. So what do you say? Is that worth it? I think it is. You spend $97, but you get a $250 value also added on to it in the business cards. And like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been building strategy and helping people get to the next level. Okay, Silva, I see that I'm gonna stop for a second. Silva, how do you figure out what the website experience is supposed to be? That is a good question. The website experience is supposed to be driven by, let's say, your funnel, driven by the ABCD steps that you have comprised. So when a client comes to your website, their experience should be kind of detailed from you. You should kind of dictate what you want them to do in every section of your website. So if that's not the case, then your website is not formulated correctly. And let me put that in layman's terms. When somebody comes to your website, they're looking for something. And it should be easy for them to find, but it should be like an easy maze where it drives their attention to what you actually want them to do, whether it's to sign up for a service, whether it's to schedule an appointment, whether it's to buy a product, whether it's to read your blog. guide them. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Silva. I really appreciate that. So let me do this. Thank you, Silva. Oh, console. Let me do my on-air message. Okay, so now I just clicked on it. Now at the bottom of your screen, you should see a button that will allow you to go and get this free off and get the strategy session. Like I say, today's price, $97. Website and social media strategy session with me, the professional. I've been doing this for over 15 years. I have the experience. I can help you, but it's up to you whether or not you want to help. You can still do it yourself, but let me guide you. Let my tools, my tips, my inspiration, my years of experience get you to that level. What else can we do? Now, I'm taking any questions. If anybody got any questions, go ahead and type them in there. Let me get the... Okay. Now let me say this question. Tanya, I see you said my Nike story was sad to hear. Well, it was sad to hear, but that story is what made me who I am today. If it hadn't been for those shoes, who knows where I would be. Marketing wasn't on my scale at 7 years old, but because of that story, it made me who I am today. I'm brand conscious, and I want to deliver my experiences to all my end users. Allow me to hold your hand as I take you to the digital experience, as I show you step by step what it takes to build an online brand. Now, I've delved into every aspect of what you should have. Now let's do a core concentration strategy session where we can really get deep, and I can really explain every concept to you. I think this will help you. So that's it. I really appreciate everyone for coming on to the webinar. I appreciate you for staying on to the end. Let's see here. We're going to do the drawing for the free strategy session. How do you? Okay, good question here, Justin Carpenter. How do you maximize the visibility of your brand using the various social media platforms without oversaturating your content, creating an information overload? When do you draw the line? Well, Justin, I don't think you can create an overload. There's billions of people in the world. Your target market, it depends on how you're putting it out there. Me, I'll give you an example. I advertise on every social aspect that I can think of, and I'm learning different social networks in every single day. Why? Because my target market is age 25 to 44. That target market is on every social aspect. So you have to, in answering the question, be brand conscious. You have to understand what parts of your brand will fit certain social criteria, if that makes sense. And in my strategy session, I can really delve into that for you. I can really give you the nuts and bolts of how to dissect it and determine what goes where. The social platforms are very, I wouldn't say difficult, but you have to know what to do in order to shine, in order to get your product to that next level, in order to get people to start following you and to understand your brand. So I hope that answered your question. Next question, how important is consistency? Wow, consistency is so important. Thank you, Silva, again. Consistency is what breaks a business. When you start on one thing and then you stray away from it, you lose your target audience because they're wanting you for expertise in this certain area and then you draw away. So being consistent is what makes your brand what it is. Look at some of the top brands and what they do. they only do one thing. Let me ask you, does let's see, does a hotel chain, one of the top hotel chains, do they sell tennis shoes? No. That's really leaping the bounds. But what I'm saying, you must stay consistent. Okay, and consistency starts with your logo, starts with your coloring, starts with your fonts, starts with your imagery. Everything needs to be consistent to build a proper online brand. If it's not consistent, they won't take you seriously. Does my social media have to be exactly like my website? Not exactly, but close. Your logo should be consistent. Your content should be consistent. Let's see, your imagery should be consistent. So in a nutshell, let me take that back. Yes, your social media needs to be consistent, as is your website. So on your website page, if you're focusing on helping others and then you go to your social media site and all you're talking about is selling, 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 you're not consistent. So one of the keys to what I talked about is being consistent. Come on, give me some more questions. I'm here. I'm here to answer questions. That's what this webinar is all about. I'm kind of glad that I finished in 30 minutes. You know, I was hoping to take it out an hour, but I want to answer your questions. Come on, Justin, Tanya, Silva, Patrice, Linda, tell me what you got. Let's talk. Well, that's going to end our webinar for today. I really appreciate everyone from coming and attending this webinar. If you have any questions or concerns, or you just want to schedule an appointment, go to IamSeanBrooks.com. Appointment calendar will pop up. Go through my information. Look at what I do. And if I can help you, I'm here. Schedule your appointment or just give me a call. I really appreciate you, again, for attending the webinar. And we'll see you soon.